Hello and welcome to the session. We always speak about diversity, and many people believe that diversity is just a buzzword, but it's not. It is actually about who we are as human beings, and we are different. We're different in gender, in religion, in sexual orientation, in age. We are having different cultural backgrounds, different ethnic backgrounds. We have disabilities or not, etc., etc., and so on and so on. Those diversities are mostly a fact, and we can't do much about it. But we bring all of that different experience to the table if we're asked to. And that is where the beauty of it lies. Because when you think about it, if you have diverse teams, it makes things much better because you bring in the experience and you bring in that different thinking and you bring in these different backgrounds. Let me speak about monocultures. Because when we speak about it and when we think about agriculture, we know that monocultures don't really work. Farmers will have to think about like what they are growing on their field. Because if they grow always the same things, then it won't grow anymore. The plants need to be changed. And the same happens in organizations as well. Organizations that are very monocultural are less innovative. They're less productive, and they actually also don't bring better results. So what do we need to do about making that and bringing a change into the picture? The issue is that human beings, we love monocultures. And you know why? Because we like people that are just like us, that are similar, that maybe come from the same country, maybe went to the same school. Then we think, oh yeah, okay, I know you have the same way of thinking and all of that. That is nice, but it doesn't make things better. Because what we then actually have in psychology and sociology, people speak about the so-called mini-me syndrome. You know, looking into similarities of people and believing that those similarities are better. And there's another thing that we have, and that is a bias. Conscious bias and unconscious bias. The tricky thing comes with the unconscious bias. We are not aware of that. You know, when I heard about unconscious bias for the very first time, it's quite a while ago, I thought, no, that cannot happen to me. I'm a Black woman. I know what discrimination means. And then I made a test that I can strongly recommend, Harvard Implicit Association Test. And then you actually realize we all have a bias. And there's a good and easy explanation to that as well. Our brain gets 11 million bits of information every second, but we can only process 40 of them. So that means that our brain makes a lot of shortcuts. And sometimes it's actually necessary that that brain makes a lot of shortcuts in order for us to survive. But we have to realize that we have those biases to be able to overcome it. And I think this is a good beginning. If we are aware of that, we can actually think, okay, I know I have a bias, and still I need more diversity. And I need more perspectives to really gather the complexity of the world that we're operating in, to really gather all of those different perspectives, to get up and to come up with the best solution. And there's another thing that is very important also to figure out about that, because working in diverse teams is not always easier, because different perspectives bring a lot of complexity in there, a lot of discussions and arguments. But if you have 30% of the people in the room that bring a different thinking into the room, miracle comes into place. First of all, you accept more different ideas. You listen to each other. Monocultural bad jokes are not made anymore, and microaggressions shrink. This is why in a lot of diversity research studies, we always speak about the 30% of the magic or 30% for quota. And if we take all of that into consideration, we know very clearly diversity is a fact, but inclusion is a choice.